Tasha.
It's Friday. Y'all like that harmony on this Friday? Feel Good Friday.
Feel Good Friday. And we have a really great show on today with our guest, CEO and author Sherilyn Bennett of the soon-to-be-released book, Boy, Defending Our Black Son's Identity in America. And she's also going to discuss starting or following her dreams after age 40.
Ooh,
so we're looking forward to that conversation, right?
Really interesting. But before we bring out Sherilyn on to talk to the Twins and Media, we have a top question of the hour. We were polling with a P, not trolling guys, on Facebook this week. And the top question of the week is, we're talking about festive holiday drinks. So as we approach the holiday season, what is your festive holiday drink? Is it eggnog, hot chocolate, apple cider, or neither? Now, we did notice that some of you like to get your drink on. We saw that you guys like to spike the eggnog and the apple cider, but we're not judging. Hey, it's the holidays.
It's the holidays, definitely indeed. And we're going to let you all get on and get acquainted with us on this live.
That harmony on this Friday. Feel Good Friday drink.
And again, don't forget to answer the question of the hour, share this broadcast, and let us know what has you feeling good on this Friday. We made it during the week. Let's comment and let each other know what has you feeling good this Feel Good Friday. All right, so I think we're ready for our guest. Let's bring on Sherilyn Bennett.
Hello, hi guys.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Is it Friday the 13th today?
Oh my God, is it?
No, it feels like it though.
It does feel like it. Absolutely. Yeah, it does.
Yes. Again, we say Feel Good Friday. So we're going to start this off and say, what has you feeling good on this Friday, Sherilyn?
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So it's been a long week for all of us. But I feel good because I'm still here. You know, being an entrepreneur and working for yourself is kind of daunting sometimes. It can be hard. And so I'm still in the fight. So I feel good about that this week because there's a lot happening. So I feel good. I feel good that, our country has an opportunity to get better and heal. So I certainly feel good about that. Mm-hmm.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, we invited you on our show because we came across a Facebook post. And it was your message that resonated with us. And you wrote, and we're going to quote what you wrote, "Success looks good on me. I pray I'm an inspiration to other women. I'm their proof that God will do it. I started my agency 4 years ago at the age of 48. Some may say that's too late. God says it isn't. Age doesn't matter. Determination and drive does. Pardon me," this is the part that we really like, "let me go down these doors so my sisters won't have to." And by the way, your hashtags were really good too. But Sherilyn, what made you write this post to share with your followers?
Right. Well, I'm 52 and I always share with women, in particular women in business, how I didn't start a company until I was 48 years old. And under the circumstances, many probably wouldn't have done that. So I was working for a company for 6 years, and then they laid us off. They laid off. But one thing they did when they laid me off was they said to me, "Thank you so much for spreading the gospel here at our job. And we're going to deposit $25,000 into your bank account, right, next Friday." And I was thinking, man, what? What am I going to do? But I didn't realize that I was already servicing graphic design clients and things like that. And so I remember getting the check and thinking, man, if I'm going to go for it, this is the time. Even though, I'm 46, 47 years old, I'm going for it. I don't ever want to work for anyone else. And so oftentimes we place value on youth. And so I find that I'm constantly talking to women over 40 about the fact that it's not too late. I always say that God has given me a second act. I got divorced. I had to move back home with my children from Atlanta, from a job I had for 14 years, and then look for work in my hometown, which took 2 more years, and then go to work at an agency. And so my life is so different than what I imagined it would be, because I felt like I had already did the marriage thing, the kid thing, and there was nothing else left for me. I actually said to God, listen, if you can heal me this divorce, you don't have to do anything else for me. And I had no idea that like God had this amazing life waiting for me after 40. I just want women to know that they're not throwaways. You have value no matter what your age is. And so I need to be the proof, one, that you can heal from divorce and, have a life. You're not like, wearing goods and not any good. And so in particular, African-American women, I say that too, because I have an agency that's so successful, and it's successful because of Black women. My clientele is 99% women and 100% African-American women. And so, so I owe them this level up, this glow up that I'm going through, because I hardly even have to advertise, because they tell someone else and they tell someone else, and I'm booked 2 weeks straight for sure. So I just want women to know that the world may say that you're old, you're older, you're not as valuable, but God says that that purpose still stands. No matter where you are, no matter what age you are, God is still got a plan for you, and you got this,
Love it, love it, love it.
Yes, love it, Sherilyn. Now, Sherilyn, talk to us about your soon-to-be released book, Boy. And actually, Eric Gardner's mother wrote the foreword. So did you guys also build a friendship through the process of writing this book as well?
Right. So the Boy book was birthed because I have 2 amazing African-American sons. Yes. My older son is a coach at Missouri State, and my youngest son coaches in Atlanta at Buford. And my older son, he went to visit a big university in Alabama, and he opened the door for a white man, and he called him Boy. Right. So he said to my son, that's right. That's what you're supposed to do, boy. And my son told this story on a live, and I had never heard the story before. And it almost took my breath away. I remember trying to hold it together while he told the story. He's like, I can't tell my mom everything because she won't be able to handle it. So he talked about what it felt like just 2 years ago for a white man to call him boy. And so I couldn't rest. Like the next morning I said, God, what am I going to do? I can't believe my kid has had to go through that, And I thought about the fact that other Black mothers, right, have these same fears and they have these same concerns. And so there are 50 letters from Black mothers in the book. There is a mental health component in the book because Black mothers, we face racial trauma. Every time a Black man is unjustly killed, a Black mom has to feel it, even when her kid. And so we have some mental health components. We have a history component because it's important that we know our history as Black people. Dr. Hilliard Nunn, she did not live to see this book come to pass, but we're going to use the writings that she did do. And I want to honor her because even as she got sicker and sicker, she continued to write and she continued to talk to my editor over the phone. And one of the last texts that she sent my editor was, you guys make sure you get this work done. And then she passed away. So she was a professor at the University of Florida, a professor of Black history study at University of Florida. And then my friend Naja Adams, who is an attorney, we have a legal aspect. But Eric Garner's mom, it was amazing to meet her. I was kind of starstruck because when I look at her, I see something that Black moms fear, and that is the loss of their child by the hands of police. And she said to me, we had like an hour and a half Zoom call because of COVID. She can't travel and things like that. And it was one of the best conversations I've ever had. And I remember my editor asking her about how she felt when she found out that her son was murdered. And she said, I just couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe that he was on. There he was, my son's life being taken on film. And so she said, I struggled with that. As a mom, I wanted to protect him, and I could not do that. And she said it was very hard to watch people then march. His face is everywhere. She said, so, you know, the first month or so, I felt like I just wasn't going to even live. I wasn't going to make it. She said to one day, you know, the Spirit of the Lord touched her and was like, you need to get up and fight. And so she says it's interesting because even now hearing people chant, you know, I can't breathe, which was something that her son went through. And she was so comforting as she was telling us stories and we were hearing how she had to deal with Eric's death. There were some moments where I was in tears, and she said, it's okay to cry, Sherilyn. It's okay. You know, I've cried myself as well. And she was excited about writing the letter. She said she's honored that I asked her to do so. She has a lot to say, and it's disturbing to her that things haven't really gotten much better. Yeah. And so she's just a bright light. One of the things she told us that many people may not know is that she had another son that was murdered 10 years before Eric was murdered on vacation. And so nobody knew that she had this other son. I didn't know. So I'm just honored that she felt she could lend her voice to this book. And I'm honored for the 50 Black mothers. Those letters are so emotional. It was a real chore for my editor and I to go through those letters because they were gut-wrenching, some of them. So I'm honored that they took the time and thought that this was a worthy cause. And so also my sons are very proud that we did the book. And you know, my son had run with the police when he was in college. He was walking to his to the store from his dorm, and he was on the phone with me, and he was like, Mom, you know, there are police everywhere. What are they? Like, I'm just walking to the store. And he just kept saying there are police everywhere. And he says, Mom, there's more. You know, they're coming. There's more. And I said, well, what you're going to do is do what they tell you to do. Put the phone in your pocket. Believe me, put in your pocket. And so having to walk through that with my son, who I know is a big guy, you know, he was an offensive lineman. And to see and hear police surrounding my kid, actually handcuffing my kid, putting him in the back of a police car, and his coach came and said, what's going on here? But not every African-American son has a coach that's going to come and say, what are you doing? What's going on here? And so we are in a really terrible time right now. And, you know, I said the other day, and sometimes I can be a little hard, but that's just the prophet in me. But I said the other day, you know, you guys are so concerned about pro-life, but the moment my son takes his first breath, he's a target. He's a target, and he's a threat to you. Right. And so I want you. I'm okay with your pro-life, but I need you to care about my son when he's outside of that womb.
We totally agree with that,
Sherilyn. Yeah, we actually have had that same conversation, that because there is the pro-life, but as these Black sons are born, what happens to the regard for their lives after, you mentioned, like, they take their first breath?
Right.
And we applaud you for creating a platform for this book, because it is a subject that, you know, we continue to have to deal with. We don't want to, and no mother wants to be a part of that club. No Black mother.
Yeah, no Black mother.
No. Yes, and we actually have a few guests. Judy Hepburn said, this is great. Thank you.
Yes,
thanks for
Judy.
Princess Millen says, yes, that's great inspiration. And then we have Crystal Tuggerson. She says, yes. And so thank you for, and with that being said, Sherilyn, your plans for your book, give us when it actually debuts, and what are your plans as far as maybe book signings, or what are your plans for the book as it debuts?
Right. So once the book debuts, it will be on Amazon and in Walmart. And I will be doing a book tour. I really, you know, COVID has really dampened me a little bit. Preferably, my first stop is going to be New York with Miss Carr for a book signing. And so we're really determined to push the book. We also have something else coming down the pipe, but I just can't say yet because we're trying to get it situated. But it will be about the book, and I'm so excited. Fred Willis is a friend of mine. I'm sorry, I saw his comment.
Right. And then also too, Sherilyn, what I would like to see, I think what we want to see is books like yours and other movements that are, working to help African-American males and just African-Americans, period, like in the schools and things like that. So
right. I think you great.
To your book as far as it getting inside the school so that we can educate other people and also to educate the police force and just the whole community. Have you thought about that?
No, I have not thought about that. I want you to know that I'm an easy crier, so don't do that to me. I have never thought about that, but that is an amazing idea. Now, Fred Willis does my PR, so I'm glad he's on here so he can hear this wonderful idea.
Hi, Fred Willis. Hi.
Yes, speaking that out into existence. Yes.
Yes, that's a wonderful idea. I hadn't even thought about that at all. But I think,
we educate people in the school system and also just the community as well. So that just came to mind to ask you that we hope to see that going forward with your project.
I hope to see it too. I'm going to keep you guys up to date on the next move. I'll tell you guys, but I can't tell the audience. We're trying to get it taken care of, but I'm so excited. This was a book that I knew that not everybody wanted to be a part of. And, there are times when not everybody can understand your vision. But I knew I had to do it. The legacy of my children dictated that I do this book. The legacy of my sons and their lives and what they mean to this country, to their community, neighborhoods, and nation dictated that I do this book. Because the truth of the matter is, I feel that my ex-husband and I raised some amazing young men. But when they're out on the street, the police doesn't ask for college degrees. They don't ask for any of that. And our sons' lives mean basically nothing. Now, I will say that there are some great police. I just don't see them. So that's, I tell people this, if your mom is white, power to her, but I'm a Black mother and I'm only going to be able to share with you a Black mom's experience. Yeah. And so I knew when I was gathering the book and putting the book together, I just want to shout out my publishing house, MTE Publishing, Victoria Holmes. When we were putting together this book, I knew that we would get some pushback. I knew that I had to be unapologetic because all lives matter.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So I made up in my mind that I would push through, and people had to say is what people had to say. I'm a Black mom. I can only talk about a Black mom's experience, and I will not apologize. You tell me when your older son is pulled over by the police. My younger son was stopped by the FBI at the airport in Atlanta. These are our experiences. White woman, I don't have anything against you. But when, like Ms. Carr said, when your son is pulled over, he is not afraid. My son is, and he can't call me because one wrong move and his life is over. But your son could more than likely get out of the car and say, "Can I call my parents?" And he'll make it back home. So we just want our sons to be able to come home. If my son is stopped for a ticket, if my son is stopped for a broken light, as you say, my son is stopped and he looks like somebody that robbed something, I need you to have more evidence than that to be able to take my son downtown. My son shouldn't be in your police car in the back with handcuffs on when he's a college student walking to the store, and I'm terrified. That should not be happening. And so we want to make sure that our voices are heard. We told the moms when they wrote the letters to just say it, not want to muzzle them because they went through so much. And those letters, some of them are just gut wrenching. They really are. But it's our truth. It's our truth. I make no apologies. None.
Oh, no. Please make no apologies.
None.
Being that you are advocating for Black men and young Black boys, and it can be such a heavy topic.
Yes.
And like you said, some of the stories are gut wrenching.
They are.
What do you do what circle do you have, and what do you do to refuel or detox from a lot of the heavy stuff so that you make sure that you're okay as well?
Right. It was really heavy. I would say from the moment I heard my son tell that story, yeah, that was it was something. It was something. I have a really good group of women around me that we carry the load for each other. I'll put it that way. You know, I'm real big on being able to just be Sherilyn. You know, I'm a prophetess, but I'm a mom. I'm a business owner, and I have friends that I'm just Sherilyn. So I really appreciate that. I was just telling my friend, she's an attorney earlier, how much I appreciate the fact that I can just be me. That's so important, in particular for Black mothers. Also, we don't need people judging us because we're upset or emotional. The truth of the matter is I can feel the angst of Eric Garner's mom because I'm a mom and we have the same concerns and fears. And so, yeah, it's important that you be able to debrief and kind of back up from it some. I found that I had to do that when George Floyd happened. I was really, really upset. And I just, yeah, and my children, I'm constantly, you know, I would tell Black mothers to make sure you check on your sons. Like I'm constantly checking on my children, even though they're big adults, 27 and 28 years old, 29. I still make sure I check in with those guys because it has to be difficult for them. Like my son was like, Mom, I don't even know if I should drive to the store. Like, what should I do? It's a sad situation for me as a mother and you other moms to have to answer questions like that, even from adult sons. And I moved from being angry to sad to, there's a lot of emotional things that happened to me through the book, getting the book done, reading the letters, which I had to do one or two at a time. It was just a lot because Black moms have so much on their heart. And I'm just glad that we gave them an out to say what they wanted to say without apology. This is how I feel. This is what our lives are like. And so, you know, if you want to join the fight, do that. If you don't understand it, I'm praying for you.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. And Sherilyn, I want to also ask you before we wrap up this interview, you talk about the letters and talk about your sons and, you know, all Black mom sons. Mm-hmm. And what do you want to see happen mental health wise? Because a lot of people are facing those challenges because of police brutality and things like that. So as far as like the moms and the Black sons in regards to mental health, what do you want to see happen with your book?
Right. I think, you know, when this situation happened with George Floyd, my son's friend told me that he was acting different. And she was like, I don't really know how to help him. He actually woke up frantic, right? Mm. And so I think one thing is we have to realize that it is going to affect us. Yeah. And it affects our sons. So we have to make sure that we communicate with them and offer them help and say, do you need help? Would you need to speak to someone? Do you think you need to talk to someone? And as a mom, we must be okay with our vulnerabilities because we have them. It's not in particular our fault. It's just that we got to learn how to take care of ourselves mentally. And I had to do that. I backed away from the news and stuff because my heart, I just couldn't take anymore. And that's because I'm traumatized. And so we have to be okay with knowing as Black moms, we suffer racial trauma. It's not easy to watch Breonna Taylor's mom try to keep it together when nobody's going to pay for killing her baby. Right. And so we feel her angst, you know, we feel her heart. And so it can be weighing on us as well. So I would say to Black moms, you know, it's okay that you feel like you do. It's warranted. It's something that you just have to deal with, whether that's getting mental health help from a professional, talking to your pastor or leader, or even just debriefing with some friends. But I just want you to know that it's real. It's not something that you made up. You're not overreacting. You feel how you feel because you're a mom. And you can understand where another mother is coming from when she has to stand in front of those microphones and just get through it because her baby is now somebody's hashtag. And that's kind of, you know, what I got from Mrs. Carr. It's difficult. It's hard enough to lose a son but to constantly be faced with his name, his image, his voice, his death. I mean, that's a lot. So even us everyday moms that maybe our sons have had situations like the ones my sons have had. I know me, I really needed help. And I speak to someone because I was mad. I was mad. How dare you? You know, how dare you? My kid is such a wonderful guy. Yeah.
The sentiments of a lot of Black mothers. And a couple more questions.
Okay.
Because you started your agency at the age of 48, and a lot of times people put age on what we do. What advice do you have for women over 40 starting over, following their dreams? What's a quick bit of advice that you can give to women?
Right. So if you're over 40, it's just starting out, just do it. Just do it. There are no rules, you know. Always go back to who God said I was, you know, and be free to know that you can have more than one purpose. Like sometimes we'll get caught up with, oh, well, you know, this is my purpose, when often God is trying to shift us into a lane that he's assigned us next, right? But we'll kind of overstay where we are and feel like we can't do it. Oh, you know, I'm married, I got kids, or I got divorced. You know, my life is over. I don't really have help. That's so not true. Like so not true. And so I really need you guys over 40 to understand that you're graced for the leap. By that, I mean that you're wiser, right? You're kinder, you're wiser, you have more knowledge. It's the perfect time to start a business, to write a book, to start a magazine. It's the perfect time. Like this is a perfect time. For me, my children are adults. You know, they're off on their own and things like that. It was the perfect time. It really was for me to like go for it. I did not feel old, but you know, most people are like, oh yay, well, you did it. But I was thinking, man, okay. I was thinking, okay, but I just feel like I'm the comeback kid. You know, I survived a horrible divorce, and you know, I thought my life was over, and I was living in Atlanta. But I always tell people that the Atlanta life was the life I built. The Charlotte life is the life God built. There's a difference, right? There's a difference. So just let him go ahead and do it in you. You know, you still have purpose. You still got this. You still are valuable. People want to hear what you have to say. And there are amazing people assigned to your purpose. But if you feel like age is holding you back, then you're never going to do it. So I say, just go for it. Call me, girl.
Sherilyn, you don't look a day over 35. So whatever you're doing,
you know, people tell me that all the time.
I'm like 52. Where's 52? Yeah, but give us some information about the book. You said it's going to be available on Amazon, but give us a date and give us your favorite social media handle for those that are watching today's live stream. They can go ahead and follow you afterward.
Right. So the boy book is available for pre-orders now. We've already been selling books. So thank you guys for all of you that have already purchased this book. You can go to boybooknation.com. boybooknation.com, and you'll see some pictures of the moms that contributed to the book. You'll hear kind of my son's story. He's on there, and you can purchase the book right now. Because you know, I said this is our literary good trouble. Thank you, John Lewis. Yeah, so the book is available now at boybooknation.com. boybooknation.com.
Awesome. Wonderful. Okay, we're wrapping it up. When is the last time, Sherilyn, that you laughed out loud? Typing in a text message or a social media post does not count. We're talking about laughing out loud in real time. Let's have it.
In real time, it was today.
Right?
Right before I got back on with you guys, I was talking to my friend Naja with my feet propped up in my sunroom, and we were giggling like high school. Well, yeah, it was today actually. Yeah, I laugh a lot. So
laughter is good for the soul.
It sure is.
I get it in.
Yes, thank you for the viewers. Nichelle Edward Walker says this is good encouragement. It's never too late as far as starting your career or whatever you want to do after age 40. So thank you, Nichelle, for your comment. Thank you so much for joining us on the Twins and Media Live. You must come back and share your other good news.
Can I come back? I definitely have to come back.
Please come back. Please come back. And again, thank you again for what you're doing and the other women that are involved in the book.
Yes.
Thank you so much, the courage that it took them to tell their stories, and for you, just kind of being the pillar of strength for everyone to compile their stories. Thank you so very much. We look forward to coming back. Enjoy your Feel Good Friday and have a happy weekend.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Take care.
All right. Bye-bye. All right.
There you guys have it. Such a wonderful, insightful interview. Kind of tugged at me a little bit too. So I was trying to make sure really, I didn't do the whole what they call it, ugly cry.
Yeah, I had to hold back tears. Thank you, Fred Willis, for putting up the link for Boy Book. It's www.boybooknation.com. Again, thank you, Fred Willis, and thank you for the viewers that are joining or watching today's live. Thank you so very much. And we actually earlier for the live stream, we said that you can join us. You can either grab your favorite smoothie or make your smoothie. And mine has been sitting here for a little bit, but it's actually something real quick and simple. We were, kind of like
banana and
short on time.
Yeah. So that sounds really delicious and also too, it kind of goes along with the top question of the hour. And we had polled, again with a P, not trolled, guys, on Facebook, your favorite festive holiday drink as we head into the holiday season. Is it eggnog, hot chocolate, or people like to say hot cocoa, apple cider, or neither? And we did mention earlier at the start of the broadcast that we noticed that some of you like to spike the eggnog and the apple cider. But we're not judging.
We're not judging indeed. Yeah, and actually, let's see. Yeah, we're not judging indeed. Yes.
Right. So go ahead and answer that question and drop it in the comment and let us know, what is your holiday drink of choice?
Holiday drink of choice. And we have a bit of celebrity news that's been happening, that's happened this week or happening, whichever way you look at it. And let's see what actually one of the news that we are sharing, we were a little saddened to hear, but Al Roker announced that he has prostate cancer, and he will immediately, I think in a couple of weeks, undergo surgery to remove it. And the good news he shared is that it was caught early.
Right.
And then he had a little bit of woe news. I don't like to say bad, but woe news is that it's sort of aggressive. And so that's why they've scheduled him to have surgery in the next 2 weeks or next week. I think actually he's having surgery next week. And he really hopes to be back on today in a couple of weeks. So we wish Al Roker a speedy recovery and well thoughts and wishes for him.
Right. Yes. That's so true.
Yes.
So praying for Al Roker.
And actually on another wellness note, we have
our girl Jeannie Mai.
Yeah.
She had to exit Dancing with the Stars on Monday, and she had to have emergency surgery. She had an abscess, I believe, on her tonsils or her throat. And again, she had to have emergency surgery. And it had got infected. I think it went behind her throat and permeated behind her throat and ear. And so we just wish her well and that she has a speedy recovery. And so get well soon, Jeannie Mai.
Yes, please get well soon. And then we actually have Chrissy Teigen and John Legend.
Oh.
We have mentioned before, and on our show, of course, they suffered the loss of their son, baby Jack. And I believe this week, both Chrissy Teigen and John Legend on their Instagram pages shared their matching tattoos, of course, with the name of their son. So a very touching tribute to, again, their son, baby Jack.
Yes, very touching tribute. Yes.
And we also have
Miss Evie
E.
And so there's two things for Eve. She announced this week that she will be leaving the talk show at the end of December, and it's partly due into travel, and she's based in London, and so because of that reason she is not able to be in the studios with the other co-hosts. And also too, something really interesting, she also mentioned that she voted for the first time during the Obama campaign. And
she also, as she was speaking with the other co-host, mentioned that because she initially started there with the Obama administration as far as voting for the first time. She's more active now in state elections, because I think a lot of times people sometimes some people, they say, okay, I'm only going to vote when it's a presidential election.
Right.
But there's so many local elections that happen that are just as important as well. So Eve did emphasize that she's a lot better with also voting for those state elections as well.
Yes, very important to vote. State and
we have some Black girl magic happening here.
Magic. This was my mood the whole day. Once I took a look at this photo, I said, "Oh, there it is, right there. That's my mood, my Friday mood, Friday vibe, boss mood, Black girl magic, all the hashtags."
Yes, Stacey Abrams, and she's being applauded for the work that she's doing. As far as she registered over 800,000 new voters throughout Georgia. And that's remarkable in itself. So she's been applauded for her work, and she narrowly lost the governor's race in 2018. But what we like about this woman here, this politician, this voters' right activist, this lawyer, is the fact that she's continuing to do the work, and it doesn't stop with the race that she narrowly lost. She's helping and serving the people well after. So thank you, Stacey Abrams, Black Girl Magic.
Black Girl Magic.
Black Girl Magic. Yes, indeed. Yes. And I think we have a few celebrity birthdays, but before we bring the celebrity birthdays on, or show you rather, don't forget to answer the top question of the hour we posted earlier. And just hit us up in the chat. Also, comment on today's guest, the interview with today's guest, and let us know your thoughts and your feelings. It's such a heavy topic, and we want to hear from you so that we can continue to have those very important conversations.
Yeah, that's right. So birthdays, we have Colin Kaepernick.
Yes, let's see what the birthdays.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
So I want to mention him first because, we just love the work that he's done, over the years.
Yeah, I think he's like a quarterback free. He's an NFL quarterback free agent, of course. He has and also he, of course, is an activist.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he celebrated a birthday on the 3rd, and he is 53 years young.
Okay, and then actually we have Matthew McConaughey, who turned 51 on November 4th, and we have Diddy, who turned 51 also on the same day, November 4th. And then we have Emma Stone, who is 32. Her birthday is actually today, and she turned 32 years old. So happy birthday. And if you are celebrating a birthday, let us know in the chat, and we would love to give you happy birthday, well wishes, and excuse us for our oversight. We were looking at something else. Colin Kaepernick is 33 years old. We're not trying to age you, Colin. But again, if you are celebrating a birthday, thank you. Leave us a comment in the chat. We would like to tell you happiest birthday to you.
Yes. Sorry for the oversight. Okay, so what do we have? Oh, so this week has been interesting, to say the least.
Yes.
Waiting for the count to go down. There were so many, and what I loved about, as we're waiting for all the ballots to be counted, the memes were just hilarious on Twitter, Instagram. I think today alone they had the Brian McKnight song back at 1, and it's just, but it also helps to lighten the mood as well as we're waiting for the results.
It definitely does, and that's one of the things that I love about social media is the sense of humor. You find so many hilarious, like, where does this stuff come from? Like, how do these people think of this stuff? And like you mentioned, it's good to break up the seriousness of what's happening and to be able to laugh, because again, we mentioned so many times on our show that 2020 has been a year, but we're not counting out the year. We know that great things have happened to a lot of good people, or a lot of people in general, and they will continue to happen throughout the month of November and going into December. But one of the memes, I think it was Garcelle Bouvet, and I think I always say her name. Is it Bouvet? Bouvet. Yeah. She actually shared on her Instagram page earlier in the week, and I thought this was hilarious. Waiting for election results is like waiting for a grade on a group project. I know I did my part right, but I'm scared y'all messed it up. So I thought that was pretty hilarious. If you have memes, I'm not sure if you can connect them to the chat. Maybe you can kind of write or type the memes that you've come across that you think are totally hilarious. Please share with us on the chat. Somebody needs to laugh today on this Friday. So feel free to be a team player and share those memes. I think we actually had another one. This was actually Sherry Shepherd. I don't know if this is actually her meme.
I think it was
a generated meme.
Right, a generated one.
And it was on her Instagram page.
Yeah, and she basically, with all this stress eating, I'll be at 270 before either candidate will be. And so like, we just thought that was hilarious because we are just waiting for it to be counted and over.
Yes, and over. Yes. So funny memes that are happening or generating around. Again, it's good to be able to laugh. We need the laughter as much as we possibly can. And again, if you are not able to share the meme, maybe you could just put a little bit of the verbiage and the verbiage in there as well. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So we hope that you guys have either made or grabbed your favorite smoothie. We were pressed for time. So we have banana and almond milk smoothie. So it's really tasty, but yeah.
I'm gonna sip on mine. No alcohol in here.
No,
guys.
yeah.
Sorry about that.
But also comment and let us know your favorite smoothie that you prepare, and we would love. So maybe we'll get some ideas. Somebody can get some ideas in the chat, and maybe do something a little different.
Ideas in the chat, in the comments, and let us know your favorite smoothie. And also, too, don't forget to answer the top question of the hour as we go into the holiday season. What is your festive holiday drink of choice? Is it eggnog, hot chocolate, or like some people like to say hot cocoa?
Yeah.
Apple cider, or neither? We had a couple people that said neither on the Facebook post earlier this week. And I was thinking like, well, what's left? Water?
maybe so. Yeah.
And like I said, we had a couple people that likes to spike the eggnog and the apple cider, but hey,
a lot of spiking in some of those comments, right?
A lot of drinkers on those comments.
Drinkers on there. 'Tis the season to be jolly and festive.
Not too jolly, guys. Be careful.
And if you also, before we head out, if you want to comment with your weekend plans, please feel free to do so. What's happening for you this weekend? But remember, above all else, whatever you do, please be safe during this weekend as well.
Yeah, and also, guys, don't forget to tune in on Monday for our special show with Romeo Miller and Zanique, and they are the co-hosts of the show, The Mix on Fox Soul.
It's like a a millennial / Gen Z.
Yes.
It's a talk show, right?
Yeah, the alphabet. Something.
Yeah, alphabet. all
one of those letters.
We'll just say young people, rather.
Right.
But they'll be joining us on Monday, so we look forward to that being a really good show. And again, as Trisha mentioned, don't forget to tune in.
Yes, don't forget to tune in, guys.
And answer the question of the hour. Tell us your weekend plans. Please comment on today's interview with Sherilyn Bennett. And again, we have the link if you want to pre-order the book. And just let us know how you're doing. It's Feel Good Friday. So as well, you can also comment on what has you feeling good on this Friday. And we'll just patiently wait for those numbers, those votes to come in. And please do something nice and kind as we wait for the votes to come in. Please do. And again, as we just mentioned, please be safe in whatever you do. And we'll see you next show.
Till next time.
Thank you, guys. Love you.
Talk soon, guys.